We'll start with BTC. So I hope everyone already knows. I'll get to this long as well, but first of all, I have to explain this range. So the range high is quite obvious with this high forming here, but for the range low, it could be this point, this one, but I have specifically chosen this one because we have the deviation. Because if it comes from here, the deviation becomes really large, although it becomes a support here at the monthly open. But there's a sweep here, there's rejection here, and there's an order block formed right below the range low. So that's like a lot of confluence for this proving to be the range low instead of this one. But it will depend further when price hits these levels. This is the daily supply, comes from here, there's rejection, even a head and shoulders pattern here, deviation here if this is considered as the range, and then there's this final retest that led to the dump. Okay, so going further in, you have the monthly open at 60,672, and this is the lower time frame scalp I have marked. Basically, there's something like this happening here. This one was the order block at 58k, and you had some of like this thing diamond, you could say, forming over here. It's not exactly a diamond, but it's trying to form something over here, so I'm expecting at least some sort of pump here into weekly open around 62k to 62.5k. All right, so yeah, I do have my entry marked here for the first entry at 61,050 DCA towards the lower band, because there's the 15-minute order block here and there's the H1 demand here. Sorry, 1 hour order block here and 1 hour demand over here. With the and this is the manual stop. So for the 1 hour close below, this would get invalidated. If you want to place a hard stop, it would go below this level. This trend line, if you see what's happening here, is basically just a reminder for myself that this could be a deviation here, deviation, this entire thing here, and this could further be another one over here, could say a deviated double bottom, and similarly to this pump, there could be another pump at least towards this level here. It also makes a smiley face, so that's cool. This is just a scalp, but if you start doing something like this, basically, I want to see it fill quickly and hold above this specific trend and this specific level of the lower time frame range high, which is 61,326, to confirm that we are filling some of them, because there's a large imbalance here. And if I take the fib from here towards here, there's a golden pocket in this area. But if I take a volume profile, it goes up there at 63,000. So this for now is a rough estimate of the take profit. Because why at this exact level? The reason is because there was this H1 order block here. Now the body of this order block here is going to act as resistance. Could be the wick as well, depends how price reacts here. But most likely it's going to be the body, opening body, and from there it's not able to exceed. And for the higher time frame, it's either there's another reason why I do not want to see the dump start from right here, because what you see here, this price action, if I show you this one like this. So what happens here, why I'm looking for a pump over here, is because if this pump happens here, you have some sort of trend coming like this from here. But if it starts to dump right from here, what happens here is this entire region, instead of becoming accumulation at monthly open, this becomes distribution at resistance of 61,326. So once this dump happens and then price bounces from this region towards here, this entire area will start to act like resistance, because there's the monthly open, this is going to turn into supply, and then there's this key level as well. So it's better to have a structure form like this instead of it forming like this for let's say we want to take a long from here back towards the range high towards here. And it's not going to stop at the range highs when it continues, because the stops above these levels are going to hit into this supply over here. So my swing long is over here and the target is going to be straight up here. But for now, I do really want to see price go this way, like this, instead of this way, and the reason I just explained right now. Okay, I'll take the questions later. First, I'll just cover the main things, and now let's just jump to ETH. ETH, I'll go directly on the daily because the order blocks are on the daily. You can see equal lows here, trend here. This was past imbalance combined into supply that had a rejection. This is the daily order block here. This is the daily demand here. Now if I extend the fibs from this area towards this area towards the top, it's basically swing high to the swing top, you have a fib 0.618 lining in the first demand and the 0.706 lining up in the second order block. So for the equal low sweep, it's actually better if price just goes like this than reclaims, because this is a good deviation right here. So if you look at like this, then this becomes very large to reclaim, right? But we have seen this thing happen in the past with BTC here. BTC did this thing over here. Look here, this one here. So same thing is possible for ETH, but you would want to see some sort of accumulation or reclaim at these levels. I'm not placing a limit here. I do have a limit here because what I would want to see here is the tap into this level, reclaim, compress right over here for a breakout, and then take an entry right there at market price, and the stop would go below this level. So because if it follows something like this and the stop goes below this level and it gets stopped, then it becomes resistance here like this, tap into this resistance, and this order block fails and it just continues to go down. But if it's a higher SFP, then it would become something like this, quick reclaim back of this order block and then further reclaim back from there. But these two important, really important levels. This one is also with the SR flip over here, but I'm not sure which one is the one that's going to give the ultimate bounce. But the limit is placed here, and there's the plan of the reclaim from over here. That's that for ETH, and once it breaks and the entire plans follow through, this one here, the supply here, this is going to be the first target, but you would hope to see some sort of rejection here, hold here. You see some of those vertical accumulations that's like chop over the weekend, the entire week, something like this, and then finally tap into this order block, bearish order block right there. To summarize, there's going to be more chop, and I really hope this equal lows all right. There's the sweep here, but I hope all of them get swept deeper, stopping everyone out and then starting the real move. ETH BTC, I don't think I need to do anything with this. The range low is this, and it's being lost for a while. It's not doing anything much either. There's an order block here, there's a SR flip here, so not much to analyze on that. Euro USD, nothing much at the range low. Could go higher from here, could go lower, not sure, not gonna touch that right here. BTCD is the important one. BTC dominance has room for further expansion because overall it's in an uptrend. There's the SR flip here, but there's this major SR flip here. Slight rejection from this area, but for all-time highs, like new all-time highs above, what was our high, above 75k, whatever that was, you need a reclaim of this level. That is where it continues further up, and alts are basically just going to continue to struggle. This one I also have a limit placed on RD's SR flip, and order block is right here. Why am I getting notifications? Okay, it has already shown a bounce, but it hasn't aligned with the BTC, so I haven't taken this one. I just have this rough one planned over here. So in case if it does manage to hit along with BTC levels or ETH levels, then I'll take this one. And I has an order block here, and this one will be good because there's this order block here. Could see this as the left shoulder, this as the head, and the left right shoulder form in this entire area like this, and then continue further up. But no confirmed bias on this one. MNT, if you don't know, Bybit has its own launchpad. So MNT is the subscription model for their launchpads, and there's the launchpad coming in a few days, I think 2 to 3 days, and towards the launchpad dates, MNT does pump. So here it's at the 4 hour. I think it's the 4 hour or the daily. Anyways, it's at the order block right over here, and it's trying to hold here. So a move up is possible right from this area like this. Tap into the supply over here until the launchpad dates are over. So I have this on my watch list for that reason. Okay, I'll take the questions now. Most of the main things have been covered. The thing to consider at the weekends is volume and sweeps, or you could say raids of either side. So still the weekend, so I'm looking for a raid of this side and then fade it back down towards my high time frame plan. Sol has been covered in previous streams and JUP has also been covered in other streams. I think JUP, I'm in a swing long. Yeah, okay. JUP, you just have to keep an eye on this high. As long as it's above that, it's going to continue higher. It's one of those bull run picks, you could say. TNSR was in the higher top gainers. Okay, right away I see an order block and a demand. Let me just map that out. The order block is here. The demand is here. Okay. Hmm. Okay, for structures like these, uh, the first thing that I see here is that it has already retested the monthly open. So the next time it goes there, it's more likely to sweep into the demand than just go from right here. Or if it's not gonna go there, it's going to tap from this area here. But that's like the future part. For now, the main part here is that Monday high has swept and there's a premature demand on 4 hour right here, this one. And if it continues to hold here, this is the main thing you want to look for. This is the bearish or block here. So once this high is broken, what is this high? Get rid of the squiggles. Okay, this is 0.9987. So once the it holds like this and it breaks above this high, then you have the confirmation here to continue the long. And the next thing that you're going to look for is take profit. For now, it has not really swept into this order block here, so you would look at this area for the target. Okay, and in case the level is lost, then you're obviously looking down further towards the weekly open first, but the week is already going to end, so that becomes the previous weekly open and you're more likely to hit into these one of these areas to accumulate. Okay, difference between order block and demand has already, there's a whole I think 30-minute video on my channel already about that. The concept behind both is the same, but the way to identify them is just a little bit different. Yeah, for Monday high or Monday ranges, you do have, I do wait, and you do have to wait for Monday ranges to form unless you're fading the move. So for now, I'm fading it from this long here that I want to see the Monday high formed at the previous Monday low. It's kind of like the strategy in my mind right now. But Mondays are to be avoided generally, yes, because the main trading days are between Tuesday to Friday. I don't know how many trades I take a week. I don't count stuff like that. Why would I count stuff like that? My A plus setups are my 12 models and they are in my highlights on Twitter, yeah. And the best one among those is probably the range low sweep, which is this one, the order block placed below the range low. And what happens that is it SFPs and then reclaims back quickly, and then you can go from there. But there are some other good ones too in that thread. You have to, because I don't really remember which model is which. The numbering was generally done by me. To increase productivity, you have to trade all the time. Sorry, not trade all the time, be on charts all the time. If you're not trading, you have to see the markets daily. These aren't indicators, these are just levels. Say this, these are indicators, but the purpose of these are just to identify levels. For a 3500 portfolio, you're better off day trading than swing in this market at least, because it's not time for like accumulating calls or anything right now. To hold, if I would summarize that. How can we predict EV for digital pearls reality? For BTC, there's just simply a change in market structure. So, which was my long? Let me check. Okay, this one. This one was coming from which area? Let's just. It was this long. Okay, it was this one. Just do it this run rough one. So this was the long, right? Yeah, this was the long taken, and I took profit here, and that is where the entire dump happened. So those who are in the Discord know about this one. The reason for that early reversal, the TP was far away, but the reason for that early reversal was this thing over here. Okay, previous supply, but continuous rejection over here, unable to break through. That makes you uneasy to hold further, and then just let it go, because if it does continue up, you can take a flip on the higher time frame, and if it continues down, you can take a retest. So this for here is also the 4-hour demand, and it has swept it as well, and it's currently holding. So there's a lot of confluence for BTC to start pushing right from here. It has already been analyzed. You can find it in the recording once the stream has ended in about 40 more minutes from now. Level to level and market structure are the same thing. Market structures change at key levels. How to accurately align altcoin trades with BTC support? Just mark out your all the order blocks, all the demands, and then once it aligns with the key BTC level, have your alert set as well. That's most important. And whichever aligns, that is the one you take, because if BTC bounce, that all bounces as well, unless the alt is weak in the overall structure. For the 4-hour close and the funding reset, it's for the funding reset is every 8 hours, so it's a combination of two 4-hour candles. So the one prior and the one after every funding reset is for leverage traders. It's an important place because the funding has to be distributed and people have to close their positions. So if the funding is negative, then the ones getting paid are the longs. And if the funding is positive, then the ones getting paid are the shorts. So they have to, and there are people, there's a whole category of people that farm these funding fees. So when this funding has been distributed, these people close out their positions. And when they close out their positions, their closing out can further decide the structure, the path the market is going to follow further. So that is the base overall importance behind 4-hour levels, 4-hour candles. Yeah, my Solana one is 90. I don't know if it'll hit, but I'll just put it there for now. BTC is not going to regain all-time high from here, and I don't know when because I'm not from the future. To regain momentum, I would take a 24-hour break. That's what I always do, and then I'll just wait for the best setup on the high time frame, because once I take it on the high time frame, a slightest bounce can give me like a positive 1 hour profit, and then I can use that to recover my previous loss, close that, and then re-elaborate further from over there. H4 is the best time to reclaim. I don't split risk. This is just for people who are following. My risk currently 1 hour for me is 10k USD, and this is about 1% for me actually would be 40k. So I can take like 4 trades at once and still only lose 1% of my portfolio if I get stopped. So I'm using like how much? I think 0.25% per trade, which is normally not what people do because it depends on your portfolio size. How could I explain how I personally DC with E1, E2? So for example, I have my first entry here. I'm going to enter full size here and then goes there. I'm going to enter another full size here. So basically the risk becomes 2R. But if it's going down like slowly grinding down with candles closing inside this demand zone, then I would not DC it because it already shows a lot of weakness. But it goes down like this flash up, then I would. And this is basically done through alert. So I have alert set all the time. And that is why I have the pro version of TradingView. And once it bounces from the second entry, basically my average would come around somewhere over here. And once it does give a bounce, I cut the half position here and bring it back to 1 hour. And that's how my average is reduced and my risk is the same as I wanted to be initially. Time frames are not for trade deciding trades. I don't know who taught you that. Most people think that way. Time frames are just to see price action better. So if I see it's just basic thing. The range is on the daily, but if I go on the 4 hour, it's the same range. It just becomes more zoomed in and easier to read. On the 15 minutes, still the same range, but inside the same range, I can see another range. That's the purpose of time frames. They are not deciders for trading. My goals in life, I don't know. I'm still in university, so you could guess from that. Maybe when I have more time to think about these things, then I would decide. Thoughts on sin. I don't do long terms because I've never gotten into fundamentals for coins. Where did you learn English? Does it really matter where I learn English from? Movies? Movies mostly. And what else? I don't know, movies. And there's just streaming and doing stuff like that brings up the accent. My Fibonacci settings, okay. 0.618, 0.706, and 0.79. 0.79 marks the invalidation. This is the golden pocket. Okay, I'll chat signups for you. I cannot tell you my university. Sorry about that. That's kind of like a private question. Tell my university people be raiding my university next week. ICTSMC, yeah, my things are also the same. It's just mixed up. Yeah, if it's been tapped many times, it does make it invalid. For the high time frame, it can take further taps, but for the low time frame, it's best if it's just one tap or at most two. I'm from Pakistan, which is my favorite movie. I don't have a favorite movie. I don't even remember the last time I watched a movie. I used to watch a lot when I was in my teens, Netflix as well. But ever since I turned, I think 21, I really haven't been into these things much. My hobbies, I just travel. That's the best thing I can do. Okay, so for sin, the range is commencing from here. Okay, so from here, deviation, SFP, rejection, rejection, low, rejection, proving to be SR flip as well. Now attempting to hold here. Just see if there's any key levels here. Okay, so it's below the monthly open. Now it's at the range high, which is the high time frame, and it's below the monthly open, which is an indicator of this trend. So the bias here is that the trend needs to reverse for a confirmation of this range to be valid as the as a flip or as the support that is going to initiate the bounce. So all you have to do, the monthly open is okay, but there's the bearish order block into this region here. So this is coming from the 3-day chart. which is the higher time frame, a lot higher time frame. So you can go one level down, and let's just get rid of this box because we have a very clear high available here, and we have an SR flip here as well. Okay, so just for I'll delete that because the main one is just this. Once the daily closes below this, above this level, which is the 0.9566, this confirms the change in structure, and then you can take it further up wherever this is the supply I see here into this region at least. Until this, going long over here is a gamble because there's no confirmation, and that's basically the reason behind waiting for confirmations. Because if it falls, as I was saying, the order block is here and it can tap into that. Sorry, my mic died. I think I'm audible right now as well because I plugged in the charger. Where did I learn the technical stuff? From YouTube. Where else? Everything is on YouTube. You don't need to know anything special about these levels. It's just based on history. I never got into these things. Why does this happen? Why does this happen here? Why not here? Blah blah blah. It's just into my memory that these levels have some sort of importance because my aim is to make money, not get into the shit of knowing the science behind it. I did my Umrah this year, yeah. I've already done it. I was in Jeddah, I was in Medina, I was in Makkah, I was in Riyadh. It was a long travel. To grow a tiny account, you have to risk slightly less and compound. Compounding is the only way. And this cycle is a lot harder than the previous one because I remember in the previous one when I first traded from 55k to 69k bull, I was on KuCoin trading shitcoins and turning my balance from 1k to 20k. The last 1k I had on spot. But this time it's not like that. It's just BTC. But that's another good point for you because if it's just BTC, you don't have to keep a watch list. You don't have to shit your brain on other stuff. You just have to focus on BTC and compound your account there because BTC is, even if this one is like 2.5% move, so you can compound from that as well very easily. Aristosophagus. Yeah, I don't use social media. Not much. My Instagram is most of the time deleted. Sometimes if I'm really bored, if the market is sideways, I would download it again and use it. Or unless someone is like mentioning me on stories, then I'm and they're WhatsApping me, hey, I mentioned you on a story, report this, blah blah blah. Then I'll open it. Otherwise, nope, I'm not using anything like that. No Netflix, nothing. The most I do is watch anime, weekly episodes. Once a week they come out. That's it. Otherwise, most of the time I'm outside the house. I'm in university, and if I'm not at university, I'm at restaurants, exploring the city, doing other stuff like that. I cannot tell you when I'm studying. Yeah, I know people do want to meet me, but it's like a security threat to oneself. Why do you think it's only BTC this cycle? Because BTC has proved that it's going to keep moving, whatever you want to do, and also not going to move. And when it drops, also are going to drop, guaranteed. Now, I can't speak Arabic, I can speak Urdu or Hindi. Do you live in Islamabad? Yes. Backtesting, bar replay? Oh, bar replay. Fun fact, I've never even in my life, I think it's been more than 3 years, used the bar replay thing. I don't even know where it is. I see a replay thing over here. What does it do? I don't know because I've never used it. On my watch list is just these charts for now. Uh, oh, what did I do? Okay, what did I do? Is my chart okay? Okay, it's alive. Someone has been dying to ask for Manta. What is Manta? Manta reminds me of Fanta. Why do you want to trade this? Just why? With all the goofiest shit in the market, you want to pick this? Ah, okay, I gave you a channel. Now do what you want with this. There's no hope for this one. For the outperforming BTC, one of those was JTO, but most of these depend on their structure as well. I have this level alert and set a mark for JTO because there's a very valid SR flip on JTO. This is something, it's somewhere like FET before FET broke out and did something like this. It's kind of similar. It's just like in my memory. I haven't even looked at the fractals, but it's in my memory for some reason. That's going to pull like an FET from this level. So I do have the alert set for this. When you launch mentorship, no mentorship. I can't even stream straight 60 minutes. You want me to do a mentorship? My first goal in trading was just a passion, not to get rich. Nope. It was to make some sort of money for my daily expenses, but not on how much I have now. Yeah, I did get good from my mistakes, and I do have a lot of in my memory that makes me do things differently. How can you tell if something is a shit chart? This is a good chart. A good chart goes boing up, and this is a bad chart. It goes boing down. That's it. Dan was a good one as well. I think we did TA it on the last stream. I wasn't able to find the chart later, but right off, without doing any TA, I can see there's an order block here. So something like this. Let me just set an alert for myself as well. I like this one. This one here. Oops. Okay. How do you manage time? I don't. I just do what needs to be done. How am I excited all the time? That's a good question because that's what passion actually is. I haven't been bored in 3 years, not even when the market is going like this. It was going like this at the bear market bottom, but even then I was like extremely euphoric. I think that's what truly defines passion for something. Are you still in OD from Twitter? Yes, I am. The Twitter OD trade is this one. We discussed it in the beginning of this stream. I'll update that later, but for now I have mixed up settings on this one, so I have the Twitter one deleted from my chart right now, but I do remember I have it open. I have it open on my live account as well, so don't go with this technical analysis right away. The main thing for me right now is BTC. I want to see how BTC does here above the monthly open, and then I have two further updates for things on Twitter that have been posted. If trading had not worked out, what have you been doing? I don't know. I am a medical dropout, so probably I would have been continuing to do my degree in business studies, which I'm doing right now, and then probably find a low tier job like everybody else in this world. How do you trade your news? Do you avoid trading the news? No, I don't even look at the news. I just stick to my levels. News can do whatever it wants on my levels. I'm not changing bias on that. I don't use order flow. Did you secure your life already doing crypto? Yes. How many hours you look? For the past 3 years, it has been between 12 to 14 hours daily. And it's not like I'm sitting on PC all the time. I'm on my mobile. On PC, I'm just here for the streams or if I want to play Fortnite, that's it. And the routine isn't like I'm just stuck my eyes on charts at for 12 to 14 hours. So for example, I look at the charts, I am sitting for breakfast, I'm eating, I'm looking at the charts, I am in the Uber going to university, I'm looking at the charts, I'm in class, and if there's an internet connection, I'm looking at the charts. When I'm out with my friends, no, I'm not looking at the charts because that's prime time for them. So when I'm back on the way home, once university is done, I'm on the charts. When I'm home, I'm in bed, I'm on the charts. When I'm eating dinner, I'm on the charts. When I'm watching anime, I have my iPad anime on the iPad. My chart is open on my mobile. Then I'm on the charts. Before sleeping, I'm on the charts. I'm waking up at 2 a.m. I'm on the charts. I'm waking up at 4 a.m. I'm on the charts. Basically, this is the phase my eyes would open randomly, and then back to this one here. You should go to uni. It's a different kind of experience. Oh, I'm the most important one. Between these places, whenever I'm taking a poopy poopy poo poo, I'm on the charts. I'm 23. For the SR flip to continue, it's basically combined with some of the key levels like the monthly or weekly. There's some sort of confluence from other indicators other than just the level itself. Why am I positioning on the BTC long here? It's explained in the beginning of the stream. Okay. I was saying you should go to university because it's a fun experience. If you're just gonna do trading, you're going to get old up there. Some people get old down there first, but you're gonna get old up there first, if you know what I mean. Yes, medium rare. Medium rare is the best. Recently, I had a steak in Malaysia the last time in Ramzan for Sari. It was medium well, but it looked like the texture, because the blood was oozing out, it looked like and tasted like it was medium rare because I could taste the blood as well. I finished it although, but I started to feel sick afterwards. And it was a cheap steak. I think it was around 80 USD. Oh, did BTC fill? I don't know why I'm getting notifications. I know BTC hasn't placed, probably on futures. It's not if the university is fun, it's if the people you have inside university are making you have fun. You suggest spot or leverage. So if you don't have anything to do with religion, stuff like that, then obviously leverage because you can short. Nah, it doesn't change whether the conditions are changing. Is Easily a good trader? Yes. What's your travel plan next up? Probably Norway. Uh, Depends on my visa. So if I get the Schengen visa, then Norway most likely, and if not, then probably New Zealand, towards New Zealand. Because I want to avoid New Zealand because Pakistan is here, New Zealand is here. The flight time is about, I think, 16 hours. And I was checking the ticket prices. The economy on Emirates, the economy class flight was about, I could say, 4,000 US. No, sorry, I got with the business class wrong. How much is seven? Okay, yeah. The economy class was 2,000 USD and the business class was about 12,000 USD. It just shows how far it is. Yeah, I do struggle with the pursuing my degree motivation as well, but don't do it for the degree, do it for the experience. Do it for the other things you learn. For me specifically, going to university taught me how to dress up. That's like the main thing for me, how to groom myself. Oh yeah, grooming. Grooming is the right word. You get groomed there. I don't think Beam Lounge became the best crypto group. We do have the highest sales net volume in terms of subscribers every month, but I don't consider it the best because in terms of numbers compared to other influencers, it's still small. Yeah, I did become rich with a small portfolio. But one thing I would recommend everyone is that if you have a small portfolio, either have a job that doesn't mess up with your schedule, and if you can't, then do post your trades on Twitter like I do because To you, it may seem like we are just influencers, but we are not just influencers. And if you're doing your thing right, you are modest, you are honest, you're doing it with integrity, you get paid really well to do it. So it's small numbers for me, but if I just tell you that as a Bybit partner, this is not like my affiliate commissions which we get from the link thing. The link thing, they sign up, blah blah blah. Just for my name, just that Bhim exists on X and he is partnered with Bybit. Okay, they pay me, what was that? They pay me $17,000 per quarter. So that's like 3 months. That's like my current contract with them just for this. So become an influencer. It's easy money, but do it like nicely. Don't become a shithead. Sorry, dickhead. Do you use RSI EMA? Nope. His biggest distraction. The biggest distraction? Do I have distractions? My biggest distraction right now is Fortnite. Yeah. Sometimes I'm playing at night and I'm missing setups because of that. That's the biggest distraction. Oh, the Pakistani paid groups are on another level. Never trust a South Asian when it comes to business. Yep, that's the main strategy. Do you guys want to see me stream Fortnite? It's going to get a bit boring, but if you want to see, I can stream Fortnite as well. But the problem is that I'm not going to be speaking English in that. So there's some friends, and we obviously talk in our local language. I can keep the chat up and answers questions on the way in English, but most of it is going to be in Urdu, Hindi. How much do you recommend to start trading with? Trading, you should start with at least 1K. Yeah. So 1% of that for you would be $10. So if you're making like $20 to $30 a trade, that's good in money for a starter. Are you good at Fortnite? I don't know what's the better definition of being good at Fortnite. Yeah, everyone can be good, but just remember that I think the last survey I read was only 3% of people in the world become rich. That is not just trading or business. I don't know what's defined, if it's like becoming a millionaire is defined as rich or becoming $5 million more. But the reason why this number is so small is because there's three categories of people. One that use knowledge, one that use strategy, oh sorry, knowledge or strategy, one that use time, and the third ones that use both. And these are the ones that succeed. They know how to use their time and their strategy to the things they want to do at the minimum or the best time possible. I never realized this thing for myself, but it's true as well. A tenner is a small number. I'm usually doing 20 to 30 R each month. It's posted on my Twitter, the Excel for summarized version. Do you believe in crypto? Or you just trade it for money? I just trade it for money. Why would I want to believe in crypto? Even the last block isn't going to be mined by the time I'm dead. You see me sometimes in Centaurus at Guineaki. Bro, I don't even go to these two places. Centaurus is like a mile away from my home. If you were to start making a lot of money crypto trading, do you recommend we remain anonymous? It's better, but there are people that aren't anonymous on Twitter as well, and they're safe. think it also depends on the kind of following you have. Why do you not advertise? So since I have done like my online business back in 2017 to 2021, my goal was to never have Pakistani customers because they bitch a lot. That's the serious answer I can give you. I don't want to be interested in a market sector that's bitching, bitching, bitching. And where to sell alerts and where to sell limits to trades. When is it better to set alerts and when is it better to sell limits? Um, how do I answer that? There is no predetermined rule for that. So if you have a pro version of TradingView, you can set as many alerts as you want. And if you are going away, if you're going to sleep, then you're obviously going to set limits that are close by filling. Why you still go to uni? Because I'm in my last semester and I'm going to graduate, so I do have to complete it. Then I'm done. I'm probably going to go for higher studies just for grooming purposes. The story behind the name Crypto Beam has also been posted on Twitter. Just go on Twitter, type Crypto Beam name or Crypto Beam name story. I think it'll pop up. JTO. Where will you go for higher studies? Most likely. Oh, it just pumped. Okay, we were talking about it and it pumped already. Nice. So the level, key level was this one. I don't think it comes back down, but let's just say it should if it wants to. For higher studies, Dubai, most likely, because I have to do things with my money as well, finances, blah blah blah. It's not easy in Pakistan. Okay, if I just do a more detailed thing into JTO, if it's not that level, then this one is breaking out and this order block is formed right here. So if it's going to continue with BTC, it's going to tab like this, then continue like this. But I really hate uh, disabling my higher time frame analysis for a shorter, lower time frame one. Please don't front run me. You're starting on you just split risk per multiple risk. No, I did not. When I started out, I was like not even using the RR strategy. I was just using $500 margin per trade. RNDR and Solana both have been done in the past two streams in a lot of detail. So you can watch those recorded ones there. Let's just check what happened with RNDR if I even remember what I did with it. Okay, I do remember. So from the last stream, we were saying that RNDR has swept this demand, reclaimed the range level from this one here, and if it had to continue, it had to hold this. I think it was trading around this level or at that time. So this was the buy side liquidity, and if it had to hold this level to continue up, it, which is what it's doing right now. So from here onwards, you have equal lows here, you have an order block here. So if it's going to come down, this is your entry point into this area for further higher targets. And then validation is basically going to be this low because this is the key level that needs to be lost for it to continue down. Otherwise, it continues up, up, up. I don't remember what was my worst month, but in the worst month, I think I ended at like +2 or +3 R. I don't end in negative. That's like the rarest of things to happen. Do you like cars? No. Do I have a car? No. You have to be some sort of a genius, yes. The education section is already in the Discord. Why can't you see it? Yeah, it's here. Yeah, it is here. Yep, nothing happened with that. I don't know what happened to SSR. He doesn't reply. Okay, let's do Sol in detail. Someone is saying I did not do it in detail in the previous stream, but I did. Okay, Solana range commencing from here. Supply, tap into this, proving to be the range high, trying to hold here, multiple sweeps down there, but not eventually into this order block where my entry is placed, which is coinciding with the range low. Now there's another order block at the middle here with a mid range as well. So if these equal lows get swept, they're going to sweep down this into this. But mine for now is over here because I want to consider longing this once BTC hits the level of 52K. That is where I want to accumulate SOL along the analysis I've done on this here. But the invalidation. So if BTC is at 52K and SOL is trading here, then I would take it here and invalidate this. And then my entry would become here and my stop will be acceptance below the range low because losing the range low is really bad. And this is just a wide stop to calculate my size. And the invalidation here is that this is the double bottom, this is the range high commencing from here, the supply is right here, there's a lot of resistance. Okay, so it would need to do something like this, tap the supply, flip the range high, go further up, flip the supply as well, and then there's the confirmation around the levels of I think $186 that is going to continue further towards a new high. Until then, I'm aiming downwards for my limits to fill. No, I don't have GT3 RS, I don't have a car. I use Uber for everything. I think ING is at a really high discount. Oh yeah, ING, we did cover this previously as well. This entire thing is the order block for accumulating. It has already tapped in this, but this entire fill of the wick is also possible. So it does level up with this entire range here as well. It's not just the range, it's the previous all-time high area. So this entire thing here, yeah, with this order block is confirmation that you should accumulate into these levels and then target new highs. Not much to do from the TS side on that. Yeah, I can stream Fortnite. I think I have about 8 minutes left for this stream. Mm, Zeta, no, I can't do that. I don't do shitcoins. I've thought about doing the whole course on TA, but the problem is my time with university is quite hard because I get free in the evening every day, and after that I'm just mentally retarded to do anything else. If it flips 186, it would depend where BTC is, and if they align, then yeah, I would go on the flip. Why can't you see the educational channel? It's not uh, viewable until you are a basic or VIP member, and the permissions are enabled for both of these. You have to be a member to see these channels. Would you ever run Fortnite with your VIPs? I would want to, but my server is Middle East. That's the main problem. Servers. For the learning, YouTube channel names are VStrade. VStrade is the only channel you need. It's been 2 years and I'm still unprofitable. Keep getting stop loss. Win rate is very low. If your win rate is very low, it means that you are stuck on the lower time frame. You have to switch to higher time frame to increase your win rate. And once your win rate is sustained, even with the low win rate, it depends on the RR of your setup. A low win rate, high RR setup is going to be a profitable. A low R, high win rate setup is going to be also profitable. So if you are targeting 1 hour per trade, which is not what normally people do, but if you have a 90% win rate, you have a plus 9 hour at the end of 10 trades. And if you're targeting 5 hour, which is not possible every time, and you have a 40% win rate, you're winning like 4 out of 10, 4 5s are 20, you have a plus 20 Plus 20 minus 6, because 6 are losers, you have plus 14 are at the end of this. Mm, If you have 34 on Feb, 19 are on March, that's really good because April was actually really brutal for everyone. And the reason why most were unprofitable in this one, including the basic section of my server, the analysts, which are small traders, the reason because the trades were forced. Myself, I was just waiting on the sidelines, and whenever BTC showed a change in momentum for the upside, I would take a small long 1.5 hour, 2 hour, and then I ended the month at around 6 hour. Staying away from that sort of market condition is more important. Res is a new coin, I can't hear that. NFP portal, it's been 3 years and still don't understand why people go for. Okay. Mm, okay, so this is the range low. This is the deviation. Oops. Deviation. For the deviation to confirm, you have to break and hold above this level on the daily. And then it's confirmed and it's going to tap into this supply at the minimum. Going higher than that, I can't state it from here because there's no structure for the further price action. Do you have spot backs? Nope. Okay, Gala. I saw you state Gala a lot, so I'll do that now. Hmm. Okay, this is the 3-day demand, and then there's a 3-day demand here as well. Completely swept, and it's currently is above the monthly open. And BTC is also at the monthly open. So yeah, Gala can move up from here, and or you can do something like this, a sweep of monthly open, then the reclaim long as well. From here, right now, an upward movement is likely more possible than downward movement because the sweeps have been into this SR flip right into this region. See, the overall structure has been maintained for the upside, and there's this like short downtrend filling some of the imbalance, filling some of the demands or blocks, whatever that is. So if you want to take a long from here, it could be at market price. DCA the sweep and your stop would go below the SR flip. So somewhere, yeah, around this level. And the target would be about 1.9 to our setup. It's like still a 43% movement and a 43% movement. But if you want to wait, what you would want to see if you don't want to enter market price, you want to see a change in structure. Since this is a 3-day, it's going to take some time to actually play out. So if I can find you something on the lower time frame, I have ADHD, sorry, and see my candles like that. Hmm. Okay. Okay, so this is the range for the 4 hour. You have the NPOC and the golden pocket and the supply all into this region. The range I here, this has been swept. There's the buy side liquidity here, buy side liquidity here. This is the sell side liquidity. It has not exactly swept, but it has tapped the level. But the order block is right below that, coinciding with the range low. So you could see some sort of small dump into this. And if the sell side liquidity into this level is reclaimed here, that's the trigger on the retest long. But if you want to stay sideline, then it's going to continue here. You want to wait here, wait for it to flip the supply, then flip the range high. That's the confirmation for continuation. But a lot of the chunk of this move has already happened into this region. So you want to see a potential entry into this area, or if BTC changes structure into this level here, a potential entry right from this area. But if you want to mark it right in here as well, then previously I said for the high time frame, the stop would go below that SR flip level. All right. But from this perspective, if you want to market in this area, saying that BTC is at support for you right at this level, then your stop would be, since this is the 4 hour range, mm, yeah, a 1 hour close below the range low level would not really do it justice, but it's risky to use manual stops. So I would say a 1 hour close below this level would be your invalidation. Instead of a market entry, at least place it on the. So you just see if you are market in with this take profit, you have a 3.3 hour setup, but if you go here at the sell side liquidity, it's like 4.4 hour setup. That is where actually you can take, and you can also DCA over here. But if you want to use a hard stop, then I would say slightly below the range low, look for a key level. I can see something coming from here. This one, this is the prime wick low. I can see that it's also coinciding here. So just to be safe, I would place my stop here. And also from a general perspective, this is quite wide enough for a retest on the range low if it's going to happen. Do you know Mehran Khan? Nope. Do you have pending orders? Yeah, I have for BTC. Um, I don't know about projects for medium term. No, that guy did not reply because he knows he's lying on demo. Market conditions you wanna avoid trading. Okay. Market conditions you wanna avoid trading. Uh, this one here. So if you get something like this is where you wanna start looking for trades. Or obviously this, unless you get something like this is the area you wanna start looking for longs because the accumulation has ended here. Or if it's something like this and this is the range high deviation confirmation here for the fade. So you want to start taking shorts back towards the range low. Actually, it's here. Okay. So it's either the high, low, or the medium, whatever that is. It's not exactly the move that is happen right there. So if you want to take an example from here, did tap into the order block, but there's a little bit of move up, down, and some sort of accumulation here, and diamond pattern forming here as well. But even if you waited it towards this entire thing here, and when it reclaimed this range low level here with this bullish close, you would say that this is the order block, and you would either place limits here or you would either market in here, and from here towards here you have caught a lot of the move. The take profit would actually be into this region because the supply is generating from here, so you would go from here to here. That is where a good trade is present. So in terms of this downtrend, like where my BTC setup is placed, it's like almost the same level. I could have entered here, I could have entered here, I could have entered here, but I wasn't sure. But now I say that, okay, this thing here, this accumulation, this range is nearby ending. So now I'm starting to look for my buyers to take the trade. Yeah, I do use OCO. You take entry on SR, it depends on confluences. The more confluences at a certain level are, that is where I would take the trade. So for this BTC trade, the actual confirmation is a flip of this level and the breakout. But since this is a large imbalance here, I'm not sure if the breakout is going to sustain, wait for me to enter, or it could just go like this. So for that, I have to change my perspective a little bit, and I would have to base it that the monthly open has swept really nicely here, reclaimed here, went for a retest, rejected to fall below again, and now it has formed the 1 hour demand and order block. So it makes sense to take an attempt over here. And if I'm stopped, then that would mean that this entire trend up, this vertical accumulation has been lost, and this bear flag is proven right. So if I want to draw a bear flag here, there is also a bear flag, okay? So in case I get stopped out, this bear flag would be confirmed, and that would make me change my bias right there. And if I want to recover, I can just short here and then recover from there. So getting at the right point where bias can be shifted immediately on getting stopped is the main thing. Can you explain more on accumulation and distribution? Accumulation happens at support, distribution it's just sideways. Distribution is at resistance, accumulation is at support. Because accumulation is mean someone is accumulating, someone or the whole of the market, and distribution is that they are distributing their cells. Yeah, 12 models are enough, but you have to use your own mind and find your own edge somewhere down the line. You don't need indicators. Oh, so we are over our time for the stream. It's been over an hour. Yeah. We were talking about Fortnite. Yeah, I can stream, but I feel like it's really unnecessary. Oh, why did I delete my setup? Okay. Uh, BNB has been covered in the previous streams. Oh, I'm tired. Volume profile has also been covered in the previous streams. BNB analysis, BNB buying levels, all have been on the other streams. Pakistan Stock Exchange, nope. Why would I want to invest in a country that's just going to go down? Sarcastically speaking, it's just not that. It's about the money, contract size, blah blah blah, licenses, policies, everything like that. A lot. It's just better to stick for crypto for me. No, I'm not doing that. Any advice to not take shit setups? Yeah, I have an advice. Would you take your own? Would you eat your own shit? No, right? So why would you not take shit setups? Just imagine you're eating your own shit, and then you wouldn't take the setups if it's shit. Do you withdraw funds in Pak? Yeah, I do, but I have my ways, and I cannot disclose that. Have you seen like chart apes trading? Nope. I don't scroll through Twitter very rarely. I would just open it, tweet, out again. Because if I start scrolling Twitter, it's going to affect my bias. Did you get just? Obviously, yeah, just like everybody else. But I never really cared. I've been like that from, you could say, my childhood. Islamabad, I think it hailed yesterday as well a little bit. Currently, let me just see my window. It's a bit cloudy right now here. I haven't gone out today. Maybe I'll just order for some food right now and go out for 5 minutes at max. It does look cloudy. How confident were you that you would be successful? I wasn't. I was just doing it for fun. I do things for fun because I believe I have one life and I should be having fun. Except that doing the shitty part, not the shitty part fun, the good fun. Fun like taking risk and feeling high. It's like a high feeling, you know what I mean? Some people have been asking for Fortnite. Let me just launch it. What dying things do you note down while journaling? I don't journal. I wouldn't recommend to come to Islamabad right now. It does get up to 38 degrees Celsius these days because when I'm in university, it also depends on the area you are going. So if you're going towards the main Islamabad side, which is the F sector, I8 sector, there's a lot of trees there, so it's a bit cooler. But if you're coming towards the Ambahria, DHA, Pindi side, then it's a lot hot here. What, in your opinion, more difficult, going from thousands to lakhs or from lakhs to millions? Can you do that in USD? I don't understand that. Do you like living in Islamabad? Yes. You never journaled? Nope. I just make my Excel sheet and it only has my monthly performance. No detailed notes or something like that because I rely on memory more than journaling. Is trading crypto illegal in Pakistan? No, it's not illegal, but it's also not legal. It's somewhere in the middle. Sir, Wi-Fi USDT. Okay, I'll do Wi-Fi. Wait. Wi-Fi, I think, was one of those coins I traded in the previous cycles. It lacks liquidity as well. Fortnite required. Okay, bro. Where's the? But where's the? Wait, I'll just queue in case it needs an update. Okay, here I am. Okay, so yeah, I don't like to chart things like these. Damn, this is so bad. Like if I just ignore everything else and if I take this key level from, why is this tick 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 avaz in my ear? Okay, so it's holding. It has swept. Isn't this the monthly open? Monthly is right above. It has swept in. If it continues to hold this level, then yes, you can start accumulating. Cut below this level here, hold from here, target the yearly open. That's the best I can give on this one for this price action into this region here. Not concerning about what's happening from behind there as well. I'm starting business.